6:45 p.m. PST. All right. Boom. Schedule command should now be updated. And it should be accurate now. That's how we roll. Fix things on the fly. On the fly adjustments. Call those audibles. All right. Let us do shout outs now, my friends. So, overnight, we've got Fantasy Star PG who cheered. He says, you heard in the UK, scalpers took 2,000 PS5s on the restock. I was watching someone who made a good point. But Sony and Microsoft manufacture the consoles. They're doing it at a loss to company resources to get them into customers' homes to generate money by digital subscriptions and game sales, and to not have them unused in someone's storage waiting for the highest bidder. They may take action against the scalpers now that it seems to be costing them money. Yeah, think about it this way. All right, even though those consoles sold, a lot of the, and this is true, a lot of the consoles that are supposed to be available to the public are now sitting in the hands of scalpers. Why? Because there was no physical release of the consoles because of COVID. So this is the first time this ever happened, that it's been an all online sale, and scalpers took advantage. They used bots to buy up the stock, and in a lot of cases, those initial waves were mostly scalpers. Like, mostly. The numbers are actually saying, in some cases, people are suspecting maybe about half of the initial wave that was sold were actually sold to scalpers. Just think about that. And now, in other waves coming out, some businesses like Walmart and places have fixed their sites so they cannot be bot purchased anymore. But these new companies are getting stock every day, and they're not equipped to handle it, and the bots are buying them all up. So here's the thing. You're right. Phantasy Star has hit it on the head with a very important point. When Sony and Microsoft are manufacturing these consoles, they're not making profit on the sale of the console. They never do. They never have. It's never been, oh, because we sold so many consoles, we're in the money now. It's about the sale of games and the sale of digital downloads, and also the sale of accessories. They absolutely make money on that controller, on that charge cable and charging dock. All the accessories, they make fucking money hand over fist on. All right, that's huge profits for them. But really, if no one can buy the consoles because the scalpers are hoarding them all, then those transactions aren't happening. And I would very much be interested in hearing the statistics, not of the console sales, because all the consoles are selling every time because of the scalpers. What I want to hear is actual game sales. Have we actually had, like, definitive numbers on digital transactions on PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X's, right? And are they stacking up to other consoles? Or is like PS4 and Xbox One blowing the sales numbers out of the sky because no one can get their hands on the new consoles, and they're all sitting in a warehouse somewhere because the scalpers are holding on to them? Yeah? I'm curious. I haven't seen that statistic yet. But it's true. If these scalpers keep fucking buying up the stock and no one's able to get these consoles because no one's gonna fucking buy no one's going to be paying $1,000 or more for a console that's supposed to be $500. Sony and Microsoft may be screwed. They're not making the money that they're supposed to be making. And I don't know what they're going to do about it. Like, what could they possibly do to stop a scalper? I'm not sure. But certainly they should be doing something. You know? Okay. Anyway, let's continue on. Golden Colts cheered. He says, how come they don't make beef nuggets at fast food restaurants? Sometimes you want that nugget goodness, but you want something heartier. I don't know. I mean, they have chicken nuggets. They also don't have pork nuggets, right? They don't have pork. They don't have beef. They don't have lamb nuggets. They don't have, you know what I mean? There's a lot of proteins out there. I guess they technically they do make fish nuggets because they make fish sticks, and that's basically the same thing. Fish stick, fish nugget, right? But maybe it has to do with flavor. Maybe it has to do with the perishability. Like, maybe, I don't know, would a beef nugget go bad more quickly than a chicken nugget if you keep them refrigerated? I couldn't tell you. You know, I don't know. It's certainly not like, you know, eating a sandwich, a roast beef sandwich versus a roast beef nugget. Maybe processing chicken it makes it more palatable. Maybe if you hard process beef, or if you hard process pork, it's not as good. I don't know. What about for example, the McRib sandwich, right? That's supposed to be pork ribs, but it's not. All it is processed pork. Essentially, the McRib sandwich is a giant pork nugget, only it doesn't have breading, right? Like, it's processed pork. So I guess you could argue. But it's an interesting point that they don't actually sell them in nugget form like chicken nuggets. I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. Golden Cold shared again. He said, a year of the corona has made me dummy thick. What the fuck does that mean? What are some good low-calorie foods to enjoy and lose weight? Vegetables. Although a lot of people don't like them. You know, carrots, broccoli. You could snack on that stuff during the day, but a lot of people don't like the flavor. Fruit. All right? Let me tell you something. Eating blueberries, you know, stuff like that as a snack versus sitting there eating chips, you know, cheese, it's way better for you. Way lower calories, way lower fat content, you know, much more healthy for you. And it's also about what you drink. Don't drink soda ever. Soda is the worst thing for you. It's full of sugar and calories. It rots your teeth. It's terrible for your body. Drink juice. Drink fruit juice. And by the way, real fruit juice. Do not drink that shit that's supposed to be fruit juice medley, that it's 90% sugar with a little bit of juice concentrate squeezed in there. You eat real juice, 100% juice. All right? That stuff's much better for your body. All right? Those would be my recommendations anyway. So, Golden Cold shoot again. He said, if you went to a Chinese restaurant and the chopsticks didn't work good, do you think it's insulting to ask for a knife and fork? No, you're in America. In the United States of America, if you go to a Chinese restaurant and you say, I don't know how to use chopsticks, could I please have a fork and knife? They should provide it to you because you're in the United States of America. If you go to China and you say, I want, you know, a fork and knife, that's ridiculous. Okay? But no, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, you know, you should be able to ask for a fork and knife. In fact, I'm of the opinion that they should provide both. They should give you a fork and knife and chopsticks, and it's your option to decide how you eat. Okay? Although, admittedly, I'll be honest with you guys. If it weren't for me going to one or two restaurants that didn't provide the silverware by default, I never would have learned to use chopsticks. It was sushi restaurants. There was one in Connecticut, and there's one out here in Washington that I would go to, and both of them don't provide silverware to start at the meal. You can request it if you want it. They have it. But they don't have it to start. And I forced myself to use the chopsticks to learn how to use them. And now I can actually use chopsticks to eat. So, there you go. Lies for Soul has cheered 100 bits. That is probably the biggest cheer. Yeah, it is. I was going to see. That actually happened right as the stream was going live. So let's get that up on the leaderboard here. That is not 100. That is an exclamation point. Oops. Okay. So, Liza sold at 100-bit cheers. All day today, I'm going to relax and smoke weed and bust raps till my lungs collapse and my throat bleeds. Sounds good. Liza sold at a 200-bit cheer. He says, I have yet to get my hands on a PlayStation 5, but I am not going to pay scalper prices. Instead, I'm going to wait till there's enough PS5s and I can get it $200 cheaper by trading in my PS4 Pro. There you go. And if anything, hopefully your PS5 will be a good one. I basically have shown on my streams over the last couple of months that the PS5 can do absolutely everything the PS4 Pro can do and better. PS4 controllers work on PS5 if you're playing a PS4 game. So if you have a game that you were using a joystick or a special controller for, it works on PS5 fine. The PS4 games all run beautifully on PS5. So really, as long as you're using your PS5 and there's no day one issues where it's like defaulty or whatever, I don't see a reason to stick around keeping your PS4, Seems to be a waste of time. So, there you go. Okay. Hold on a second here. Snow Carl Cheers says, a quick idea. Can Cat help out and grind more boring, grinding minigame content off stream? No. My wife has a life. Are you not aware that my wife has a busy life? She cooks for us very frequently, which is very nice of her. She has a job that she works 3 to 4 days a week, okay, depending on her hours or whatever. Some days it's a longer shift, it's only 3 days a week. Some days it's shorter shifts, so she works 4 days a week. And those days when she works, she's incredibly busy. She barely has time to do her own thing. You know, she wakes up, she has to do stuff around the house. She has to prepare for work, get dressed and everything. Then she has to cook, then she goes to work. She's at work all night, comes home, goes to sleep. There's the time for zero. She can't, on days when she works, she doesn't even have time to play games she wants to play. She couldn't, today, she has work. She wouldn't even be able to play a Hitman 3 or Assassin's Creed if she wanted to. She doesn't have time. She's busy. She doesn't just sit around all fucking day. She has, you know, she's actually productive. She has a life. She has a job. You know, she can't just sit here grinding games for me behind the scenes. She has other shit to do. Okay? That's what happens when you have a productive life. You don't just sit on your ass all day. Me, I sit on my ass all day. But that's my job. My job is actually to sit on my ass. So, you know. So you guys think that my job is to stream games. Actually, what I do is I sit on things and squash them with my ginormous ass. That's actually my occupation. I get paid for this behind the scenes. Okay. Savage Today has done a 1200-bit cheer, which is the biggest cheer of the day so far, and says, looking forward to the stream. Playthrough will be missed upon completion. Yes, I completely agree with you, Savage Today. That is definitely a sentiment that I'm having, is within the next couple days, if not, you know, one more stream after that, although I might not even need it. This is the end of Yakuza 7, and I have had such a good time playing this game that I'm going to miss it. I absolutely know I'm going to miss these streams. This has been one of my favorite games of the last year. And I'm super, well, I am, it's bittersweet. To see the end of an amazing game like this is bittersweet. So, I guess we're going to see what happens. Okay. Alright. Lives Were Sold at 100-bit cheers. If you're going to play Divinity Original Sin 2, can you rush through it? No. Snowcrawl Cheers says, please, Phil, can you not do Cooking with the King instead of DSP Tries It? No, okay. I will not do Cooking with the King instead of DSP Tries It. I will definitely give you what you want, Snowcrawl. Sounds good. Mike Tuca has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Mike Tuca, for the sub. I appreciate that. Francis Parker did 100-bit cheers. You need to ban clown emotes. It's a detractive meme. All right. It's a detractor meme that apparently I made up because I'm the one who put the emote in the chat. So apparently it's my detractor meme. I made my own. I detract against myself. Actually, there's no such thing as a detractor meme anymore because I said there's no more detractors. There's haters and there's ironic fans, you know, but there's no detractors anymore. The era of the detractor was when you had those crazy Sons of Kojima assholes who, you know, that was detracting, all right? Or people who were constantly making this is how you don't play and skewing things to look in a way that weren't true. Today, those people who were making those fucking streams and restreaming shit, those are haters. Those are just people who are here to shit on me and make a buck on riding on my coattails. That's not detracting, that's hating. That's literally like I hate this guy and I'm gonna make a dollar being a hater. All right, it's very different. All right, no more detractors. That's old terminology. That's outdated. If you use that, you're not in the now. You're living in, you know, the past. You got to get into the new time, 2021, guys. All right. Great. Lives Were Sold cheered. He says we're being plugged gratuitously. Yes, I was plugging you gratuitously 28 minutes ago when you actually said that. Benzuko Lives is today's first tipper with a $5 tip. Thank you very much, Benzuko Lives, for the $5 tip. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Thank you for that. Okay. Francis Parker cheered again. He says, what's your favorite Chinese dish? Oh, man. Let me think about this. Whew. That's a tough question. I like a lot of different Chinese dishes. When I was a kid, I used to love fried rice. Like chicken fried rice, pork fried rice. As I grew up, I tried different dishes. Probably right now, overall, my favorite Chinese food dish. Excuse me. Hold on a second. Have some water here. Probably overall, my favorite Chinese food dish is at this local restaurant near me. They do a chef's special lo mein. And this lo mein has the lo mein noodles with mixed vegetables. And, of course, their custom-made lo mein sauce with both pork, beef, shrimp, and chicken. That is a crazy good lo mein. It's seriously good. Every time that we go there, I eat it. Although we only eat there like once or twice a year tops. It's crazy good, man. So that would be my absolute favorite Chinese food. Although there's a lot of other stuff that I like. You know, egg rolls are great. I like wonton soup, egg drop soup, sweet and sour soup is good. I've had some more traditional Chinese dishes. For example, any kind of duck. Like the Chinese cooks make duck so well. There's so many different preparations you can do. I've had smoked duck. I've had seared duck breast. I've had just duck sliced into slices and then you dip it into like plum sauce. Duck is amazing and it's a key piece of Chinese cuisine. I love duck. All right. So there you go. But overall, definitely that lo mein is my favorite. Oakley Tuna Roll has tipped me $5 and said you should serve yerba mate. It's a try. It's super good for you and also a great alternative to coffee. That for some reason that sounds familiar to me. Yerba mate. I don't know why that sounds familiar to me. I swear I've seen it on a sign or something somewhere nearby. What exactly is yerba mate? I wonder. Well, I don't know. Thank you for the $5 tip. Probably Atomic Cheers says, I got close to buying a PS5 at launch through Walmart. Then I realized they don't ship internationally, even though the PS5 isn't geo-locked. Sad times. That is sad times. You would have ordered it and they wouldn't be able to send it to you. They only accept U.S. addresses as a mailing address for delivery, right? Yeah. So you would have got screwed. It's actually a good thing you did not order it. You would have got completely screwed over. Okay. The Funny Maverick cheers. What do you think of retailers selling PS5 at scalper prices? In the UK, are retailers CEX and cash converters are doing that? Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck those retailers. Tell them to go fuck themselves. Westside Rascal did a 100-bit cheer. And he said, Darkside Phil, perhaps you could commission her to play certain missions win-win. What does that mean? I have no idea what you're saying. But thank you for the cheer regardless. Golden Colts cheered. He said, do you think it's unfair how panned Cyberpunk was for its bugs when a game like Fallout New Vegas was a buggy mess, but it's a celebrated piece of gaming history? Is the expectation of perfection for the latest and greatest just too inflated? Here's the thing. Number one, Fallout New Vegas absolutely was buggy at launch. Nowhere near as buggy as Cyberpunk. I mean, Cyberpunk by far is the buggiest major AAA game ever released. Okay? Just being honest. No game has ever been that bad at launch. It's just a joke how bad it is. And Fallout New Vegas, at the time, was it considered a AAA release? Absolutely. But I think people kind of went into it with maybe a lower expectation because we knew it was not the main dev team of Fallout 3 who was making it. And it was considered a spin-off title rather than a numbered title in the series. So we kind of knew, okay, this is a game using the same engine as Fallout 3, but it's going to have some differences. It is made by a different team. It may have a different feel. Kind of like, do you ever play Batman Arkham Origins? Right? Like, that is a game that is not a numbered Arkham game. It has a lot of similarities to the Arkham franchise, but it definitely has things that make it different and stand out. Personally, I feel that Arkham Origins was not as good as the Arkham trilogy, but I actually feel Fallout New Vegas was just as good as Fallout 3, if not better in certain reasons. Okay? Another thing is, Fallout New Vegas came out relatively quickly. After the smashing success of Fallout 3, New Vegas was essentially a rushed game. This was a game that we got to rush this to market, which is why they didn't even have the Fallout 3 dev team work on it. They had another team work on it because they wanted to cash in on the ginormous success of Fallout 3 and its DLCs, okay? Cyberpunk 2077 has been in development since, 2012? Something like that, something crazy like that. And by the way, yes, it is true that all of a sudden they decided in 2016 to change the entire game from a third-person RPG to a first-person action-based game, which completely reversed development and made everything start from scratch. But that's the fault of the management team. That's not the, it still was a game in development for 8 years. All right? Just because you threw out 4 years of development doesn't mean it wasn't in development for 8 years. It just means your management sucks. Right? So, no. It's not unfair that Cyberpunk is being treated the way it is. It's 100% warranted for the amount of overhype and overpromising and underdelivering and lying outright to the public that CD Projekt Red did. They deserve exactly what they're getting. 100%. In fact, I feel the upper management of the company should be thrown out. The shareholders who are now suing the company should throw them the fuck out of the company and say, you guys are inept at what you do. You completely destroyed your dev team, overworked them for a piece of donkey shit that you released because you fucking suck and you don't deserve half the credit you got for Witcher 3. It's obvious it was the talented dev team and not the management that pumped that golden game out. So go fuck yourselves. That's my take on it. Beautiful Butterfly cheered. He says, there's still this back here. It's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind. It's always telling me it's Yakuza like a dragon time. All right. Thank you. OGX Focal did a 245-bit cheers. Says, a Chinese restaurant in my town is the only place I found that has a dish called honey black pepper chicken. It's amazing over white rice. That sounds really good. That does sound really good. Yeah, there's 2 Chinese places near me that I really like. One of them is a guy who's actually a Chinese chef. He came over as an immigrant and started this restaurant on his own, and it's his own recipes and things that he's designed over the years. And that's the place I get that lo mein. And there's another place that's a Szechuan Chinese place that's supposed to be like actually authentic Szechuan, and they have some pretty unique stuff. They actually have what they consider Chinese fried chicken, and what it is little pieces of chicken that are fried in this like spicy chili batter. And it's so different from Americanized fried chicken, but it's also fucking good. Pretty good shit. Pretty good shit. Let's try this again. Sir Spartan King has done a 50-bit cheer on behalf of Derek. And Derek says he loves dim sum. I should try it sometime. A steamed pork bun, shumai, hargao, and he loves his mom's egg fried rice with chunks of sausage and eggs. Rice usually yellow, too. His mom also makes roasted curried cauliflower. All of that sounds absolutely delicious. And I would love to try it someday. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. It's time for shout-outs. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to those who are the top cheerers of the week so far. The week is still young. It's only Thursday. As you know, I stream through Monday. But thank you to those who have cheered so far. I really appreciate it. Shout-out to Sir Spartan King, who's in 10th place. Nin Star Rune, who's in 9th. SMR Tad, who's in 8th. 10Ds and Juice, who's in 7th. TVSCD, who's tied with Rob on Wheels for 5th place. Shirtless Mofo is in 4th place. Ripley Atomic is in 3rd place. Lice for Soul is in 2nd place. And Savage Today is currently in 1st place, the top cheerer of the week, making a fool of everyone else with his awesomeness and domination in that spot. Thank you, Savage Today, for all the cheering so far this week. Also, shout out to those who have contributed via gifted subs to the channel this week. Thank you to the following people: Nathan Tools, Cashmere Goat, and Diocletian60, who all gifted 2 subscriptions to the channel. And in the leads currently, all right, thank you to no, okay, that was obviously me clearing my throat. That wasn't the guy's name. Thank you to TVSCD, who has gifted 5 subscriptions to the channel. Thank you. That is the most gifted subs of the week so far. I appreciate that. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I was doing the leaderboard shout-outs, we had more contributions coming. All right. First of all, Savage Today cheers. Do you have a favorite guilty pleasure movie based off of a video game? Yeah. Super Mario Brothers and the Street Fighter movie. They're both terrible movies, but they're so bad they're good. Like, you can't help watch those movies and not start laughing at how bad they are. I mean, it's even been documented. You know, for example, with the Super Mario Brothers movie, John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins knew the movie they were making was a pile of dog shit, and they were actually drunk on the set most of the time, which is why if you actually watch the movie and you look at their eyes in certain scenes, their eyes are bloodshot. I'm not kidding. You can tell now when you watch these movies back, like, oh my God, they were piss drunk during the filming of this movie. Pretty funny. But yes, it's so bad they're good. Okay? Beautiful Butterfly cheered. He says, hey, can Hey There Babe get a zoom in shout out? A zoom in shout out? What do you think about this? A zoom in shout out? What the hell do you mean by a zoom in shout out? No! You cannot get a zoom in shout out. Absolutely not. Okay. Rob on Wheels has done a 1500-bit cheer to become the top cheerer of the day. He says, hey dude, any more funny kills after the golf swing yesterday? No, that was the last one. After the golf swing, I wrapped up that stage by destroying the security tapes because I had been captured on camera and I didn't want that to stick. So I destroyed the security tapes. Excuse me. And then I escaped. We started the next stage, which is Dartmoor. It's a mansion out in the British countryside. And it reminds me very much of Clue or one of those murder mystery capers that happens in like a big mansion or a manor, because that's exactly the location it is. We spent about 15 minutes kind of walking around, grabbing certain items that I'll need, like a crowbar, and finding, you know, maybe locations of certain items. But I haven't done anything in that mission yet. I haven't killed anyone or done anything yet. So, no, nothing after the golf ball kill, okay? Okay. Very good. All right, guys. So, that's about it, unless anyone else has any further questions or anything else. We're going to take our quick break of the stream where I'm going to go use the restroom. And then when I come back, it's going to be Yakuza 7 continuing. Now, as you know, like I said, today's focus, again, I said this at the beginning of pre-stream, I'll say it again. Side content. All right? I hope you guys understand this. And that no one's going to be upset that it's side content. By the way, what happened here? It looks to me like pre-stream has been broken into 2 parts. How on earth did that happen? It says pre-stream is only 27 minutes long. Obviously, that's not the case. How did... What? What? Huh. I'm kind of scratching my head. I honestly have no idea why it says that the pre-stream is only 27 minutes long. Somehow I must have accidentally stopped and started it again. I have no idea. Anyway, it is what it is. Pre-stream is done. So, shout out to Saitama2246, who resubbed for 5 months and said, ever thought about re-enabling comments on your YouTube channel? Engagement algorithm is based off watch time, likes, and comments. If comments are disabled, you could hurt your growth. There is no growth on YouTube. There will never be growth on YouTube. It's not possible, Saitama, for 2 reasons. Number 1, because YouTube is just an archive of my content now. I literally put 0 effort into it on purpose because I used to put tons of effort into it, and YouTube over the years, time after time after time, would find a way to screw me over and basically make it that I was wasting my time. All right? To the point where I even went as far to create a new channel with edited style content. I worked super hard. I seriously worked super hard to make the channel successful. It did succeed, and then YouTube blacklisted it and made it so that I couldn't put ads on any of my videos. And that was the end of it for me. Like, literally, that was the last day that I cared about YouTube. I was like, I don't care anymore. Fuck them. If at a whim, they could just blacklist the channel for absolutely no reason, then I see no reason to care about them. All right? So since that day, I have not cared about YouTube at all. DSPGaming itself as a channel never will trend on YouTube because over the years, people have made so many slanderous videos about DSPGaming that now when you search for DSPGaming on YouTube, you only get the slanderous videos. Their actual, what do they call it? There's a word for it or an abbreviation for it. Is it SEO or something? Basically, it's their search algorithm makes it that you will always find negative stuff about me before you find positive stuff about me on YouTube. And that's their fault. That's actually their fault, not mine. That's because their algorithm is garbage. And it caters to garbage, negative, slanderous, derogatory content rather than constructive content, which is fucked up. But that's how it works. They only care about views and clicks and money. They don't care about actual content that's not hurtful. Okay? So that being said, even if I worked on DSP Gaming, I promoted it, I tried to get the videos to be a higher quality, I re-enabled comments so that people could click, and it would never, ever, ever get any kind of added attention. Never. It just won't. All right? There's nothing I can do about it. I've given up on that. I threw in the towel years ago. Now my focus is Twitch, and my Twitch channel is growing. My Twitch channel is getting new followers on a consistent basis. My subs are consistently up. My income is good here on Twitch. I am not focusing on YouTube at all. It's a waste of time. Okay. Jake Darby. Cheers. It was an archive. Why'd you freak out when you lost partnership? Because even though it is an archive, I do still have income from that. I do still get some income from that. That's important. If YouTube were to go away overnight, if DSP Gaming were to be deleted, that would actually hurt me financially pretty badly. All right? It would be tough to stay afloat. I would have to find a way to make up for that lost revenue, which is not good. I make way more on Twitch than I do on YouTube. Let's just clarify this. But it's still income that I depend on. That's why. Snow Carl Cheers says, wasn't the entire issue you privated your entire catalog and because it was removed from search results? No, that never happened. What happened, a few things happened. In 2015, there were false copyright strikes put against the channel, and I had to delete pre-stream videos that used any kind of artwork for about 2 to 3 years worth. And when I did that, it destroyed my channel and removed it from the search algorithm because YouTube thought that because I deleted videos that my channel had something wrong with it, that I put out bad content. It wasn't, but that's because YouTube's SEO, the search algorithm, is a flawed piece of shit. So immediately, my channel started dying that day. The day when I had to delete all those videos to stop my channel from being shut down for false copyright strikes in 2015 was the beginning of the end for DSP Gaming, okay? Then it was was it 2017 or 2018? I couldn't even tell you anymore. Google Plus, which was at that point forcefully integrated into YouTube, all right, had an error and misidentified mine and hundreds of other channels on YouTube as spam content. Even though it's not, it's just a piece of shit. Again, more automated garbage that YouTube coders don't know what the fuck they're doing. They fucked the whole thing up. So I had to completely disassociate my channel from Google Plus, and then it fixed it. But that did, for a short period of time, make it so that I could not advertise on my channel, and there was all these issues with the channel. Okay? Thankfully, I did get it cleared up. It never should have happened. It was 100% an error on Google/YouTube's behalf because they're a bunch of fucking idiots. In the meantime, over the last 5 years, so many people have made slanderous and defamatory videos about me on YouTube that people watch because they're brain-dead, mouth-drooling idiots. Instead of watching the real content, they watch the person crapping on someone and basically insulting someone with absolutely no justification nor backing up of what they're saying. Those videos get more traction than the archive videos I put on DSP Gaming. And because of that, DSP Gaming just doesn't show up in search anymore. You can't find it. You will find all these defamatory videos or slanderous videos. You will not find my content. It is not just because of one issue. It's because of all of these issues happening within the last 5 years that's destroyed DSP Gaming on YouTube. Okay? That's the problem. So there you go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. That's that. Thank you. Let's take a break. I will use the restroom. And then when I come back, it will be Yakuza 7. All right? End game content. Trying to finish up the side content and see what we can do. Make money, blacksmith, all this stuff. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully we can get this done today. And we can have a finale of the game later in the week. We'll see what happens. Timbo Slices here's a reminder, the updated hateful conduct and harassment policy goes into effect Friday, January 22nd at 10 a.m. We all play a part in making Twitch an incredible place to hang out. Yes, and that means, remember, as of tomorrow, using hateful terms on this site is no longer allowed. If you're a hateful person, and you have hate in your heart, and you come to this website, and you try to hate, you will be ejected with a big boot right off your ass. Bonk, and you'll go flying into the stratosphere. Go land over on fucking YouTube streaming where they don't care what you say and do because they're scumbags. Get the fuck out of here. All right. All right. I shall return, my friends, after a short break. I will see you in a few minutes. Thank you very much. See you then.